Welcome back. If you've just joined us, we've been looking at the federal government's intervention and the rescue operation of the missing Chibok girls and Nigeria's defense policy in general. And our guest on this episode of Question Time is Nigeria's Minister of Defense, General Mansour Danali. Don't go away. Now let's move over to the recruitment aspect of the Police Service Commission. Recently, the federal government has just approved the recruitment of 10,000 police force, and it's in the news that the Police Service Commission has concluded this recruitment. And how would you rate? What's your assessment of that exercise?
The exercise was perfect, as per human endeavor.
So how would you respond to the myriads of complaints now trailing that exercise? Because I'm sure you are aware of many of the complaints that have trailed the exercise.
It's natural. We advertised for a limit of 10,000 people. About 1 million people applied. You can be sure that there will be up to 400,000 or 500,000 who may be qualified. But we're taking only 10,000. Because those people who are qualified are not taking, we go to town and be complaining and become grumbling and complain that was qualified. There's no way we can take all the people that are qualified.
You had a standoff with the Senate based on the modalities of the recruitment. The Senate was clamoring that it should be on local government basis, and you insisted that it should be on state basis. So how did you resolve this issue?
That was finally resolved in the sense that we went ahead to do recruitment based on federal character prescription, which is the policy of states. But the Senate, National Assembly felt it should be done on local government, that is the accountable cadre, local governments. You see, the National Assembly represent Nigerians. What is done on state, local government is still taking Nigerians. So the Senate go ahead to the constables. The done of inspector and ASP, because if you do a local government, you can go around, have several and 74 local governments in Nigeria. We're taking about 500. So that's what we did on state basis. But constables were taking 7,500. We're able to distribute it among local governments.
Now, one of the resolutions that we heard from the Senate is that 9 policemen per local government. And when we multiply the local government, 774 local governments, that means the police force will be having additional 6,966 police force. That's if it's to be done on the local government basis. So how feasible is that?
We've already done it, and it was feasible.
Okay. Now they are also saying that in 3 years, in the next 3 years, that 30 policemen will be recruited per local government basis. And when you do the calculation of the 774 times 30 policemen, that means we're talking of 23,220 policemen.
Yeah.
Is the police service ready? Do they have enough resources to recruit this? Have you considered the cost implication?
We already done one. The government provided the money. The money is not coming from Police Service Commission, we don't direct fund. It's from the government.
But some of the newly recruited police force are complaining at the staff training college, are complaining that their salaries have not been paid.
You see, before I retired, I was a police officer. And then if you worked in service yourself, if you join the civil service, it's not automatic just to go the next month to get a salary. Before we are paid, we take about 3 months.
But a laborer is worthy of his wage, so
of course,
a
laborer is worthy of his wage.
Is it that this money is not budgeted for?
No, I'm not so. When they're paid, they're going to pay their arrears.
So when are they going to be paid? When are they likely to be paid?
I'm not in accounts.
There is a widespread allegation that 300 ASPs and 200 cadet specialists have their recruitment shortchanged.
Yes. Not so change. That may not be.
No, because they said they were at your office. You were out of the country then. The General Secretary of the PSC addressed them, and he couldn't defend this. This is what is in the news.
No. So when we went for the recruitment exercise, we went to the papers. That some specialists whom we refer for interview to be interviewed by their own professionals. After which, we published the names in the papers. We got letters from some professional bodies that those people that saw their names are not their members. Therefore, they cannot be recruited to perform certain duties meant for their professional organizations. So we have to set them aside. We now have to call professionals to come and examine them and interview themselves. That's another group. You remember
so
that?
Are you saying that the PSC did not do their due diligence in the process of recruitment?
Let me finish. So apart from those people professionals whose capacity and qualification are in doubt, there's others who are now replaced by GD, General Duty Officers. That's not, like you said, complaints. And we felt if somebody, a vet doctor, for example, has applied to be a vet doctor, and he is converted to GD, it doesn't make sense. He has a calling, he has an intention, he has a desire to make him go and do vet medicine. You can't pick him now as you could go for big duty. That was why some of them are being kept on hold.
So let's look at the area of the aspects of discipline now of the police force. Some officers have been accused of unethical involvement during elections. What has the PSC done about these cases?
Yeah, some cases are reported to us. Of course, during election, you know that the Police Service Commission equally went to the field to exercise oversight function on the conduct of police officers during election. Those of them who have found wanting have been disciplined.
About 36 senior police officers have also lodged a complaint that they were placed on forced retirements, that their retirements were unjust. So are you reviewing these cases?
There's nothing to review. For example, have an IG who was an AIG working in the same office, and he had the top DIGs over him. Then suddenly he was promoted, he was made IG, from AIG to IG. They know what they do, GIGs can work on that, they just have to go.
Still on discipline, fighting corruption has been a never-ending serial in the Nigerian police force. What are you doing as the Chairman Police Service Commission, because discipline is one of your core mandates, to change the perception of the Nigerian police force in terms of corruption?
Yeah, we want to do that, but we're handicapped by funding and the movement and all that, because we established investigation and monitoring department. I did that in Police Service Commission when I came in.
So if we have a situation where we have a large number of police officers that are indisciplined, and we are still recruiting more, and we've not been able to discipline the ones we have, do you think the issue is more of recruiting more police officers, or having an effective and efficient and disciplined workforce in the police force?
I think you misunderstand the issue. The fact that Police Service Commission is mandate is to discipline officers. Not anybody. The police also disciplines itself.
Before we wind down this conversation now, we understand that the police service it will be starting another recruitment, another phase of recruitment now. Could you look into the camera and tell Nigerians that this set of the next recruitment will be based on fairness, will be based on impartiality and without interference?
I want to say that the next set will continue, because this last one we did was based on fairness, was based on qualification and lack of interference, because there was interference, but I didn't yield interference. And I can't bet you that next one there'll not be interference. Of course there'll be interference and I will not yield.
The Chairman, Police Service Commission, IGP Mike Okiro, thank you so much for making our time to be part of this episode of Question Time. Thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
And that's it on this episode of Question Time. What's your take on the federal government's reform initiative of the Nigerian Police Force? Send us a comment on our various social media platforms showing on your screen. Join us next week on another exciting episode of the show on Channels Television. Many thanks for watching. I'm Benga Ashiru. Bye for now.